All right, guys. I have your second feature of the evening. Are you excited? Yeah. If you're not, get excited. Please welcome to the stage, Mr. Tanner Tuttle.
Ghetto M-U-S-I-C, we bring the heat. That African soul clap, black power impact. Who said ghetto rap was all about a dope sack? A pimp slap or a big black cat. Fuck around and get jacked for your rhymes.
Thanks a lot, Garrett. Garrett's great. It just sucks, like, me and him can hang out, but we can't really hang out outside of comedy because of the way we look. Like, within 5 minutes of us just being outside hanging out, some guy's gonna come up and be like, hey, do you know where the alt-right rally is? I got a couple of tiki torches with your guys' names on it, brother. And I don't want to be rude to the guy. I mean, I see his point, so I'm just like, yeah, if you head in that direction, I'm sure you'll come across it sooner or later. So you think I go to Asia for sex?
Yeah.
I don't even have Dorito dick. What are you talking about, man? Come on. Maybe got the bugles, and I can stack them because that fits. My weekend's set, yeah. Grew up in a small town, I still live there, and I finally realized it was a small town when you get older and stuff, because I saw 2 drug deals get paid in the form of a check. I was like, that doesn't happen in major cities at all. Like, you gotta build trust with that person to do that. Even if I knew the kid my whole life, I couldn't get away with that. And I mean, you know, some people get their last words on a tombstone. Like, how embarrassing to walk by and see, who do I make this out to? Thank you. That joke's inspired by a death in my family I felt could have been avoided. We got dog lovers in the building. Can I get a woof woof? Hell yeah. So growing up, I always wanted to have a dog, and I wasn't allowed to. Parents didn't want one, didn't have a fenced-in yard, didn't want it chained up. I get it. So when I was 20 and I finally moved out, I was like, that's the first thing I gotta get. I gotta get me a dog. So I did. It got me a little border collie. And for a while, I was like, I gotta name my dog something weird, something different, something that's really not been done. So I named my dog Grandma. I just thought it would be funny. Throw your neighbors off every time, you know, just, Grandma, come inside! Grandma, quit eating shit, get in the house! It'd just be funny. It's a male dog, so it throws everybody off. It's like, Grandma, quit licking your balls, we have company. Sorry about this, guys. So, day 1 I got him. I was like, I gotta start messing with people immediately. So I went to Walmart with my girlfriend, and all I bought was a bag of dog food. Set it up there. And the lady's like, hey, it's $22.80. You're paying for Grandma's food today. She's like, no, you're paying for Grandma's food. I just bought Grandma a new cage. You're buying Grandma's food today. And I look up in the cashier's face. She's just like, do I call animal control? Do I call the police? Who do I call? She's just really freaked out. And I make it worse. I go up to pay, and I'm like, it's cheaper than a home. It is. Last time I was down here in Vegas doing a show, I did the underwear show with Ryan. It was a great time. My parents came down and saw that, and they were like, hey, we got a hotel room with an extra bed, so you don't have to drive all the way back home. You can stay out and come and have a bed and stay. So I was like, great, that'll be awesome. So stayed around, bullshitted, got back at 3 in the morning, was walking through the parking lot, and this really nice white Corvette drives by, and it stops, and it rolls down the window. There's a woman inside, and she's like, hey, hon, you got a room here? Yeah, I do. Well, would you like some company? It's like, whoa, I've never been offered this before. So I'm sure a lot of you know what company means. It's when a male or female of the night takes you to your room. When you start to cry and everything, they slip something in your drink, and you wake up and all your money's gone. So, yeah, but she walks and she's like, do you want company? And I was like, oh, I don't think my mom and dad would really enjoy me bringing somebody up. Sorry, and walked off, and I told my girlfriend this story. She got upset with me and I knew she would because, oh, you said your parents, but not your girlfriend? is up there. I'm like, well, it's true. And I'm all, also, prostitutes have that in their head. Like if you say, oh, I have a significant other, they've got stuff to defile you. You're like, oh, they here? Same area code? Come on, honey, let's do this. Like stuff like that. They don't need to know. Parents, that's gonna throw them off. You'd be like, hey, do you want some company? Like, oh, do you give a group rate? My parents are upstairs. Do we all get in on that? Is it discounted? Check for a Groupon! See, does that work? Yeah, that's gonna throw them off immediately. Like, just imagine though, if I really did do that. I would just be like, hey, Mom, Dad, this is Sapphire. She's gonna be up here hanging out with us for a little bit. I know it's 3 in the morning. Speaking of 3, I need $300. Oh God. Okay, she just poked something really hard into my back. It's either a gun or a dildo. Either way, I'm excited and I need that fucking money right now. Next day, we went out and got breakfast. And while we were getting breakfast, the news was on, and I saw this ridiculous, crazy story of a woman in Henderson who gave birth in her car, driving to the hospital. Her husband was driving. Their 3 kids were in the back seat, and the oldest son recorded it. I don't know if he was forced to or anything. I'm like, why would you record PTSD like that? It's just ridiculous. And then I was like, the people I was with was like, really? Like, what if your mom was to be like, here, Tanner, like, will you record the birth? I'm like, I'd throw her a selfie stick and be like, do it yourself. Jesus. See, a lot of people are all riled up about Ariel for The Little Mermaid and her skin color. Like, who cares? If Disney wanted to be really accurate with the depiction of Ariel, you wouldn't see skin color because she'd be covered in 10 trash bags. Left arm would be cut off of circulation from all those soda rings. That's the accurate one, okay? That's what she would look like. And then how funny it would be if they went like way intense and she goes up and the man of her dreams is like the president of BP Oil. She went up on the wrong oil tanker. Now she's convinced to like pollute and everything. He brainwashes her. Stab turtles with straws? Sure, I've killed 20. But I'll kill more. Sorry. So free agency for NBA just started a little bit ago, and NFL and stuff. And free agency is such a crazy aspect to me with sports and how all these players get ridiculous money for a sport. Like they're basically getting paid for what they did last year. You're getting paid for last year's work, which would be awesome in like other jobs and everything like that. Like imagine like how would free agency be in like the fast food business? So I think back, like my first job, I worked at a little local burger joint. It's like a year in, they like come to review me and stuff like, oh yeah, we're thinking about giving you like a 4% raise, you're doing this well. It's like, I took the security tapes over to McDonald's and Wendy's. They're offering me 8%. I'm taking my talents to Wendy's. Like no one cares to see that. That's not on ESPN. People aren't freaking out like, man, he's choosing between the big, Wendy's and the Frosties to McDonald's where the ice cream machine never works. Is he there to help it? Is he there to save it? No one cares. Like, I go and start working there and like if people like with sports players, they go to a new team and they just end up sucking really bad even though they're getting paid and everyone's like, oh, it's the system they're in. It's that system. Like you can't do that with burger flipping. Like I couldn't just go to Wendy's and just be fucking up everyone's order, being like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm just new to this. Like handing new food out here is just weird. This is why I get why it's the main chain. The only thing you get the same rings is onion rings. But baseball too is going on right now. It's kind of boring. I'm not a big fan of baseball, but that's like all that's on right now. Have you noticed like a lot of kids have been getting hit this year? It's crazy. Like a lot of just fly balls have been going out and just hitting children. Like they're just heat-targeted missiles. And so people are putting up nets all the way around. And it makes sense, that's a great thing to do. The getting hit with a baseball bat or a ball is the second worst thing at a baseball game besides being at a baseball game. But my favorite part about baseball that I see, you'll see like 1, maybe 2 a season, and it'll just say, "Dad makes acrobatic catch for foul ball while holding toddler." It's like, white dads, what are you doing? You guys gotta knock this off. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, I put myself in that position, and I would mess up immediately with that. It'd be 5th inning, 6th inning. I already forgot to put sunscreen on my kid, so he's fried. Just ball and just drop him. I got it! Fuck yeah! This is the greatest day of my... Oh, shit. No, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay. Oh, shit, you're bleeding and it's bad. No one's got a Band-Aid, it's a baseball game. Here, give me some of that nacho cheese. I'll put that on there. That'll dry in like 10 minutes and harden. We'll be set until we get you home. We gotta finish the game though, we're not leaving. And then you look up and everyone's all disgusted with you because you just dropped your kid for a foul ball. And you're just being like, hey, I've got a better chance of making another kid than I do catching a foul ball, all right? Let's just get that clear. And if it's an MLB game, there's gonna be cameras everywhere, so they're gonna catch you, and commentators are gonna talk. I don't know if you've noticed this with a lot of sports commentators. One guy sticks to the script, play-by-play, gives you all that, and then one other guy will go off the cuff and just say some really random stuff here and there, usually then followed by an apology the next day or so. So I could just see it now, like them in there and be like, "Oh, look at that, Daryl. Dropped his kid for a foul ball. It's gotta be embarrassing." He's like, "Yeah, I know what you mean, Mark. That kid would have been safer left in the car." It's Mark McGuire and Daryl Strawberry in the commentator's box, just so you know. Yeah, that's the sad part. I'm not a big fan of gender reveal parties. Yeah, that's random. Like, they just bother me. You can have them if you want, just realize what you're doing. I saw one that was in Tucson, Arizona. A border patrol agent did what I've seen a few people do, is they'll get into a field and they'll set up a box, and they'll get away and shoot it with a high-powered rifle, and then the explosion will go off, and then the color of the smoke will be the sex of the child. Their explosion set off a 40,000-acre fire. Like, dude, if it works for an Academy Award show to open up a goddamn envelope, open up a goddamn envelope. There's easier ways to know your kid's a mistake. This has been a lot of fun. Thanks again, everybody. I used to work at the bowling alley in my town for 6 years. So here's a few jokes I picked up along the way with that. Within the first few months that I worked there, I got what probably connects a lot of bowling alley workers that I've never met, is the infamous prank phone calls. So I got one a few months in. They pick up, the kid's just like, "Do you have 8-pound balls?" And I try to keep it professional, like, "Yes, we do have 8-pound bowling balls." "Well, how do you walk around?" It's like, "I put them in your mouth and tell you not to gargle." And he's just like, I was like, "Yeah, that's kind of how you sound actually already with it." Like, "Hey, I'm here till midnight, come in whenever you want." And hung up the phone. And I never got another prank phone call. So I wonder if word got around. And then one night when we were closing up, this couple came in. And it was just those two. They were the only ones in the alley. And they were both wearing Steph Curry, number 30, Golden State Warriors jerseys. One home, one away. So I put them on a lane and I'm closing up around them and everything, cleaning. I'm like, I gotta take a photo of these guys and just mess with them. So I take a photo when they're not looking and I'm ready to post it, and it's just like, well, at least when they have sex, we both know who they're thinking about. Went from Splash Brothers to Sploosh Brothers pretty damn quickly. So take the photo, I'm still cleaning up and stuff. And a little bit later, they finish their game and the girl comes up to me. She's like, "Hey, will you take our photo for us?" I was like, "Actually, I already did. Do you want me to just use the one that I took and just send it to you?" She just looked all horrified, like, "What?" And I'm like, I'm just kidding. Sure, give me the phone. So if you got a really ridiculous truth, you can get away with it, I guess. So, and I've been doing this for a little over a year. It's been great, it's been fun. Like, I'm finally starting to get a few paid gigs while I do this, which is great. It's just extra money to help pay off multiple loan sharks. So that's good, they've been getting at me. But I think I made it worse the last time I went because I had to pay with a check. All right. Thanks for coming out, everybody. Again, my name's Tanner Tuttle. Have a good night.
Tanner Tuttle, ladies and gentlemen.